Welcome to another episode of Democracy at the Crossroads, a platform that speaks truth to power. As the elections are drawing to a close, we are waiting with bated breath for 4th of June, when we'll get to know whether the corrupt, communal and authoritarian Modi government will get a new lease of life or not. Narendra Modi and corruption are poles apart, Modi bhats will assert. Such people need to be educated that a smart politician like Modi does not keep corruption money in the bank or at home. He ensures that his crony capitalists will look after his interests as a payback for the special benefits he has bestowed on them while in power. And Narendra Modi is a past master in this art. He had institutionalized crony capitalism while he was the Chief Minister of Gujarat. But that was limited in scale and it was confined to one state. When Modi came to power in Delhi, he extended this diabolical policy to the national plane, and he did it under the fig leaf of national interest. But the truth is, as you will see, this crony capitalism does not serve the interest of the nation. It only serves the interest of the business group concerned and the ruling party of the day. The business groups make enormous profit at the expense of the state exchequer because of the special benefits given to them. They share their loot with the party in power. That's why crony capitalism is the bane of both democracy and capitalism anywhere in the world. This is what should be driven home in the minds of the uneducated Modi sycophants. They need to see that by institutionalizing crony capitalism in India, Narendra Modi has undermined the quintessential spirit of our democracy and capitalism as a policy, as a system. And look at the fraudulent claim Modi makes when he says that Adanis and Ambanis are contributing to the nation by creating wealth. They are the wealth creators. That's a lie he spreads and his harebrained supporters lap it up.
तो मैं लाल किले पर से बोलता हूं जी, मैं शर्माता नहीं हूं। मैं लाल किले से बोलता हूं, इस देश में वेल्थ क्रिएटर्स की इज्जत होनी चाहिए। मेरे देश में जो सक्षम लोग हैं, जो सामर्थ्यवान लोग हैं, इनकी प्रतिष्ठा बढ़नी चाहिए।
See the lie. Just take the case of Narendra Modi's favorite crony capitalist Gautam Adani and his meteoric rise in association with Narendra Modi as Gujarat Chief Minister for 13 years and India's Prime Minister for the last 10 years. This man, Gautam Adani, a small-time diamond trader, became a billionaire during Modi's 13 years in Gujarat. But see his trajectory when Modi hemmed Delhi in the last 10 years. Gautam Adani's flagship company, the Adani Enterprises' stock market performance was even superior to that of Elon Musk Tesla Incorporated. And mind you, Adani's personal net worth has risen from $8 billion in 2014 to a whopping $140 billion by 2022, before the Hindenburg report hit the headlines. Come to think of it, someone who was 609th on the list of richest people in the world in 2014, he has risen to the third position and for a brief period to the second position of richest billionaire list in 2022. That was the miracle of crony capitalism. But what happened to the bottom 50% of the people during the same period from 2014 to 2022? Mind you, India's spectacular GDP growth story had started dimming since 2015. The demonetization in November 2016 struck a death knell to India's growth story. Millions of people had lost their jobs. An overwhelming majority of those affected were the poor lot who worked in the informal sector, which was most adversely affected by demonetization. And then came 2020, the killer pandemic, COVID-19, and the lockdowns that followed. That swallowed hundreds of thousands of lives and livelihoods. So, see the contrast. During the same period, 2014 to 2022, the income of the likes of Adani rose by leaps and bounds. But 80 crore people of India were driven to so much of penury that they were on the threshold of starvation. Had the government not given free ration, hundreds of thousands would have faced starvation deaths. And the situation is no better now. And that's the reason the free ration system has been extended for the same 80 crore people even today. Otherwise, they know, we know, these people will starve to death. Here is the irony. Narendra Modi invokes the nation, calls the 140 crore people part of his family, flaunts himself as the pramukh of the family, the head. But can you see the discrimination in the same family? What kind of family is this in which top 1% of the family hold 23% of the family's income and 40% of family's wealth, and the bottom 50% of the family have barely 3% of wealth and earn only 13% of the family's income? Just put this picture in mind. Top 1% have 23% of income and bottom 50% have just 13% of income. And what is a more stark picture than this? Is top 1% owns 40% of India's wealth and bottom 50% own barely 3% of wealth. Is this the kind of family Narendra Modi is so proud of? Modi ka parivar? Mind you, India today under PM Modi's stewardship is the most unequal country in the world, more unequal than Brazil and even the United States of America. And this inequality, this K-shaped growth has accentuated during Narendra Modi's 10-year rule because of his crony capitalist policies. Then comes the question, why can't the top 1% super rich, who have made so much of money, provide a little support for the 50% of the extreme poor to rise above the subsistence level? Mind you, for this super rich, it will not have to make very big sacrifice. Even 2% of wealth tax a year would be enough to generate enough resources to to bail out the poor. But PM Modi, the head of 140 crore family, takes offense and starts abusing those who propose that this top 1% rich should pay just 2% tax on the wealth to take care of the bottom 50% poor. That shows how this Narendra Modi is a prisoner of the ultra rich. He is shedding crocodile tears for the poor. Just see, he is deceiving the poor by doling out 5 kg free food grain in a month. Why can't the bottom 50% extreme poor get a subsistence money of 10,000 rupees a month? You just levy a tax of 2% on the wealth of the top 1% super rich, and you can raise enough money to pay 10,000 rupees to each poor family in the 50% lowest bracket. But Narendra Modi would not have it. He would like the super rich not to pay taxes to the country. He would rather want them to pay that money to his party so that he can buy MLAs, he can buy MPs, he can break opposition parties, opposition governments, and remain ensconced in the seat of power forever. Unfortunately, the poor have so little aspirations that they are content with 5 kg of rice or wheat. Narendra Modi has exploited the naivety of the poor while billing out his rich friends. He doesn't want the super rich to give even a token tax on their burgeoning wealth. Such an anti-poor Modi needs to be turfed out of office in the larger interest of our democracy and our capitalism.